Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. You know what today is? We're going to talk about the men of Monat, because if there's one thing this predominantly female company needs, is the opportunity to center men. Am I right, ladies? We need to hear from the men of Monat. Oh, you don't think so? Yeah, me either. But this is going to be entertaining and fun for me to absolutely scrutinize and rip apart. The husbands of women killing it in business. Oh, I'm sure they are.
Than any traditional business, which was my background. So I had to invest a ton of money, waste a bunch of time, trial and error, failing over and over before I saw any sort of results. And then meanwhile, this girl.
That information right there, the idea is to talk you, the regular bottom feeder in MLM, if that's you, is to talk you out of seeking a real business venture where you're really an entrepreneur, where you're more than a 1099 contract employee. Not that there's anything wrong with that, in a normal context. It's just that MLMers have put CEO in their Instagram bio. It's just that they consider themselves entrepreneurs when the only business they have going is being a sales rep for an MLM, which doesn't exactly make you an entrepreneur. It doesn't make you business savvy.
Blowing past me, blowing me out of the water. So, like I said, it really was inspiring, and I definitely was very eye-opened. And I also love the mentorship that they have, which I never received as a business.
Was it mentorship for men? Because if the mentorship is talking about women and kids all the time, what are you going to do with that information unless you're a stay-at-home dad? Are you really inspired? It seems like cheesy blah blah blah, because he didn't he didn't qualify that statement with anything for women to really grab onto. It's just, I was inspired, and then we're supposed to take that and do that with something. And my husband just brought me popcorn. Isn't that good timing?
Owner. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's a great perspective, and mindset is everything, right? And Joe has a strong mindset that shows when she's leaving, right? So thank you. Also, last year, you and Joe had your third baby, right? Jesse, you and Jackie had your second baby. Downtown, you and Sarah had your third baby. Big year.
At the beginning of her journey in Monat, and I mean, honestly, she could have told me she sold seashells down by the seashore, and I would have been like, it's the hottest woman I've ever seen. So I remember I saw her, I was bouncing in the bar.
That's super cute. And I love that dynamic for them. I truly do. I really do think this is where men, since they're so logical and rational into the numbers, I really do think that this is a time where husbands of these MLM queens could take the time to say, hey, honey, I looked up some information and it doesn't look good, but I thought of some things that you're into. I thought about how we can get you these things you're looking for. I thought about maybe some other business ventures we could look at that are a little bit more reputable or just better, or just really starting your own business. What if we thought about those instead? Something that's a little bit more collaborative, because I don't think as a husband or wife or a partner, whatever your situation is, you have to just co-sign whatever it is the other person is doing. I love that for them. I love that that's their dynamic. That's great. I don't think that other husbands or wives should pressure their husbands to see their husband's support or lack thereof in this context where they have to just be like, oh, well, she's beautiful, so I let her do whatever. Well, you could also to just be like, you are so beautiful and hot, and I think you can do so much better than this MLM. Honestly, I think you're above it. Let's cook up some other ideas. Am I right? Am I right? Let's start a lash business or nail business. What if you design press-on nails or something? That would be cool.
Nashville, Tennessee, and she got a job there for moving there just to meet people. And I saw her leave the parking garage in the Cadillac, and I thought to myself, oh, she got a sugar daddy, I don't have a chance. And then I figured out, hey, it was Monat, and I didn't know anything, but I also knew people, from my hometown that would do network marketing, and they weren't successful. And your first instinct is to blame the business or the business model. Yep. You never really think about.
And rightfully so. And the girl in the back's like, yeah. Typical haters. Typical. I was the same way. And then I got emotionally and spiritually invested, and then I had to see it differently.
Blaming their work ethic. And so once I saw work ethic,
it's not their work ethic. What is the takeaway here? Oh, right. that it's all your fault. It's just another way that these companies turn it on you. It's your fault at the end of the day. It can't be this inanimate object. And I think maybe there's argument for that in other contexts. I don't think it applies here. I don't think so. Because you can, if most of the people in your MLM, sir, aren't successful, so obviously not a profit either, is it their work ethic? Because my work ethic was stellar when I was in MLM. I probably worked it longer than my upline who was actually successful, because they would get off Zoom and I would still be there working. I would be the only one. I would just have it on still to hold myself accountable. And I would sit there and be working it for hours because they had real lives. I did not. And so I would be working it all day, every day, getting nowhere. So no, work ethic, I think for a lot of these people, isn't an issue.
How passionate she is. Passion was like the selling point. When we first moved in together, she threw away all my old shampoo. Stuff over. And so once I saw her passion, I was like, man, you could never make me a non-believer. And it's also allowed me to be a present dad at home. Because I used to like work after the Marine Corps, the oil field, ironworking, bars, and restaurants. I would like work with guys that would FaceTime their kids to tell them happy birthday because they're working out of town. And I was like, I thought that was going to be my future, but I didn't want that to be my future. And thanks to Monat, I'm able to not do it.
Yeah, he's very extremely consistent. Last night, we're talking about this. How do you handle the constant presence? Because she's obsessed, is what you were telling me. And that's not, but you understand that's the only way
She's
to
obsessed.
up. But it's from the morning to night with 3 kids. How do you handle that part of always being on the phone?
I mean, looking at what all it's done for my whole, like you, especially like the husbands that are like new to this, that's like one of the probably the first things that they look at and kind of judge. It's like, oh, you're always on the phone. But I will tell you this, guys, it's a good thing if they're on the phone because that means they're.
I think that is one aspect that I could talk about a little bit more on my channel is what it must look like to be the husband or like partner of someone who's in an MLM and is on their phone a lot of the time. Because I know for me, I don't like, and I made sure to not be this person either, even when I was in the MLM, but like you're trying to talk to someone and they're just on the phone like this. Yeah, don't waste my time. Don't come to my house. Do not come hang out with me. Do not invite me over. Don't invite me anywhere. Not in like a shitty way, but it's just like you go be with whoever you're texting. Go do whatever you want to do because I don't want like this surface interaction. I don't need like human interaction that bad just to be in the vicinity unless the plan is to rot together and just be on the phone together, then that's fine. But like if I'm trying to have a conversation and someone's just on the phone, that's annoying. And especially when you're in, like a relationship with somebody, I can imagine it being hard to be the husband of a wife who's in an MLM, and it does not matter which one it is, because you're seeing someone who's on their phone all the time and that's not like your job. So like he said he was in the military and doing other, I think like blue collar worker stuff. Am I right? So his work looks very different than what she's doing. Like she's on her phone making so much money and he's like done physical labor. So that looks really different. And I do think it is really hard for either person to put themselves in the other one's shoes and understand that both can make money. It's just a difference of choice and how to do it. And obviously one is more exploitive than the other and in different ways.
Like, I mean, it's tough. Everything's tough that you do, especially with kids. Kids are tough. But I'm just thankful that it's me dealing with I get to deal with the kids. And not somebody else.
I get to deal with the kids. What do you mean by that? Being a present father? Why are we clapping? What are we clapping for? Men gathering to finish off day 2. Ooh, now the men are in the lounge. Oh my God, and they're wearing the clear backpacks. I wonder how many of them are trying to put on like a brave face to be supportive and how many are just like, you don't want to be here either. Okay, just checking me either. And I wouldn't blame them. I wouldn't blame them. I think it's honestly must be ass to be there and have to listen to that shit. From the husbands, get your husband here. We look forward to seeing each other and hanging out every trip too. For those skeptical, we were too. She is building something for your family. How can you support her? And these are like quotes for the men's panel. And on the screen it says, it's a family business. Why? It's an MLM. Why is one person who is tied to the MLM having to involve the whole family? If I go get a job tomorrow, regardless of what it is, why does my family need to be involved? That's weird. That's bizarre. That's wrong. Why can't you have a job? It shouldn't involve them. Unless, of course, the real idea behind MLM is to convince other people to join and spend money as long as possible and as much as possible. Unless that's the real goal. Men's panel and how they feel about their wives selling shampoo. And like, this isn't the regular husbands of the regular distributors. These are the higher ranking distributors' husbands. So of course they're going to see in a better light when their wives are actually making money. Monet has allowed me to be a present dad. Grateful she makes more at home than doctors in my family working 70 hours a week. When she started earning more than me, I had to eat my words and let her do her thing. Was that after the profit and loss statement? Real quick, I just want to know about that. And how transparent is she being about the numbers? Like, are you getting to sit down and do the numbers with her, or is she kind of keeping it a secret? Because I don't think that all of these things should be so freely said in front of everyone in the audience, because everyone in the audience, most people in the audience, I think it's safe to say, are not bringing home the big bucks to where their husbands are like, oh, now I can be a more present dad. I get, as a stay-at-home mom, it is hard to rationalize getting a job out of the home, and then finding a job is ass right now. I'm like, why? I really don't get why they're making it so hard. But an MLM, but that doesn't mean an MLM is the way. And it doesn't mean that you need to go out of your way to prove your husband wrong, or whatever their situation was, whatever was going on between them. It's not like you're going out and doing something sleazy or dangerous. You're just doing something wildly unethical when you look at the bare bones of what it is, regardless of the name of the company and the super amazing shampoo. I love hearing from the Mo men. I didn't even hear anything of value. Like, it was garbage. A little less funny than last year too. Personal testimonies of how they struggled to support their wives at first, and how this opportunity completely changed their lives. There's a couple different ways I see this. If it was a regular job and you're like struggling to support your wife doing that, weird. Weird on you, mostly, because why would you not want money they have to work for? Unless, of course, you're one of those guys who's like, me man, me provide. Good for you, but that means extra hours for you, though. There's that. And then if you're struggling to support your wife in an MLM, I think that's completely fine. I think that is your time as a partner to shine. I think that is your time to kind of see it as a situation where you can guide her towards a better path because you want the best for her and you think this would make more sense. It is completely okay to come up with an alternative game plan, especially if your wife is already like emotionally invested. Coming up with a different ooh shiny to present to her, I think, is a better option. And then everybody wins, because now she's not getting trapped in an unethical business model that she very likely will not be making money in. And you can see it for yourself if you go to the FTC website, which, can they ever do enough? Am I right? And you can look at the disclosure statements from whatever MLM your wife is interested in anyway, and just see like, oh yes, most people don't make money. It's actually very unlikely that my wife, who has no social media presence whatsoever, will see any success, short term or long term. It's okay to be that voice of reason and pull her out of the ooh shiny gently, kindly. You know how to talk to your wife. Pull her out of that. I always love this panel. Husbands of the women of Monat, usually some of the biggest haters, and rightfully so. It's okay to be a hater of MLM, who now advocates for other partners to give this business a chance, share how it changed their families' lives. Always such a refreshing and enjoyable panel that I think is eye-opening and relatable for so many couples. No, this is not eye-opening. This is just a way for other wives to point at their husbands and be like, see, he's on stage supporting her. Why can't you do the same? And he's probably like, because we're not breaking even, honey. Because you spend all your time on your phone, and it's not translating to the paycheck. And I worked out the numbers per hour, and you're actually making less than prison wages. Oh, yeah, and like that's valid. Let's hear what the video says though.
The process started. How did you initially feel about her doing the business?
Well, for starters, as my wife loves to point out, I was Monat's biggest hater. Now, I got you.
And just going off of his body language and facial expressions, it seems to me like he still is. He was the guy in the beginning of my other video who's standing behind his wife giving a speech, like, just like not, like he's not saying, but, oh my God, yeah. Oh my God, you did so good. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. God, my wife's the shit. You know what I mean? He's just like, oh, right, I'm on stage. Oh, what? You know?
You guys all here with me. Let me tell my side of the story. So she had quit a very high-paying software sales job over what I thought was a nominal commission dispute. So quite frankly, I thought she was losing her mind. And then when she told me that she was going to do Monat, I had no idea what Monat was. So the second obstacle was when she told me that she was going to start posting pictures.
Okay, so two giant red flags for you. Your partner in life decides to quit their job that I'm assuming she was like genuinely successful and good at. And you're like, whoa, what the fuck? And then she's like, I'm gonna join an MLM. And then you're like, whoa, what the fuck are you thinking? I think it's okay to be a giant hater because you're the partners watching someone make drastic life choices and you're like, what do you mean? And I think that's a completely normal reaction to something so ludicrous as quitting your normal job and turning around and going, and I'm gonna do MLM. That is cause for concern, yes.
On social media and tell me that that's a job.
Well, it is a job if you are like a content creator and you're getting paid from the platforms you're using to create content on. Yeah. But for a lot of people in MLM, they're just creating content for free. It's not even translating to a sale ever at any point in time. And then you're also creating content for free that you're not getting paid for by the platforms you're posting on because it's really hard to get the algorithm to care about the content you're making. So you're not really getting paid from that either. I would think in most cases.
So it was a learning curve for me, it was a tough pill to swallow in the beginning. But then obviously once I saw her commitment, I saw how hard she worked. Obviously, I started to get behind it. The second obstacle became
Several businesses yourself. What is your perspective, given your background?
Given my background, I gotta say I definitely was not familiar with the network marketing industry at all. But I gotta say, when my wife at the time, Joe, had showed me her check, I was like, oh nice, like you get this like once a year? She just started laughing at me. I was like, what? I was like, once a quarter? She's like, no, I get that every month. And I was like, damn, I'm in the wrong business. I was like, why didn't anybody tell me about this? So I really started to fall in love with, how Monat has like such an amazing blueprint.
Why didn't anybody tell me about this? Maybe you surrounded yourself with people who have an ethical backbone. Not that you have to be like the queen, and I'm certainly not like the queen of and the do all and end all of being as ethical as possible. Okay, like let's keep it reasonable. But the idea behind this business is that you join and you pay a bunch of money for it. It's all overpriced. You pay a bunch of money, you join. You get other people to do the same thing. So it's also your competition, especially if they're people that and then you have like two people in your downline and you guys all know the same people. Okay, that sounds unethical to me because now you have to figure out who's going to sign up who, and that could muddy the waters in friendships because why is your downline full of your real friends? It's not a good idea, I would think in most cases, to do business with friends like that when they're not like employees that are getting paid for their work. They're people who are building up your paycheck directly. And sometimes you can be building up your upline's paycheck and not get one yourself. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that doesn't feel good.
To help, the network marketing industry scale their business 20 times faster than any like traditional business, which was my background. So I had to like invest a ton of money, waste a bunch of time, trial and error, failing over and over before I saw any sort of.
Do we have any business majors in the audience? Can you chime in with us? Because I think I only took a couple business related classes and they're so boring.
The results. And then meanwhile, this girl's blowing past me, blowing me out of the water. So, like I said,
Monat men. The multi-millionaire Monat girls' husbands, retired by their wives, living their best lives, being present dads. Do they feel good about that? Is that what men want now? Is to be stay-at-home dads? I'm not like shaming that for everybody, but it makes me wonder, is that really what they want? Do they really feel fulfilled being stay-at-home dads and not working? If that's really what's going on. Like, okay, if that's true, I just don't really buy it.
So you got to tackle each objective as they come. I think, very simply, I think the golden nugget that my wife, told me that changed it all for me was she explained to me that she was doing this for us, right? I think when you kind of turn the table a little bit and you explain to your partner that the reason why you're putting so much time and effort into your phone and growing this.
Yeah, well, and that would be nice if most people made money. That would kind of make a little bit more sense. But it's got to be hard as the partner watching someone doing it. Not that you have to just, I don't think you have to just stand there and co-sign it and just be like, oh yeah, you're doing this for us. If after a month you're not seeing a profit, it's perfectly okay to be like, I think it's time to look elsewhere. I think it's time to do something else. And that also can be something you do to support your wife. It's okay to support your wife doing something else. I don't just dream of handbags or fancy cars. I dream of a life where my husband doesn't have to work another day. Barf. Where he gets to be present, not exhausted. He can't get a part-time job. Have you ever seen a man with nothing to do? Where our kids grow up with a dad who's around for the moments that matter most. This is why I do what I do. Not for me, for us. Like, okay, if everyone's happy, but I don't see it. I don't see everyone being happy doing that. Watching the men today speak on their wives is truly so incredible. It's common that a lot of significant others aren't big supporters to start, but eventually they get it and realize what's possible. The love and support they show their wives is beautiful. It's the most like platonic and boring nothing burgers I've ever seen. And is this the support they're giving their wives? You can keep it to yourself. How's that enough for anyone?
I'll tell you this, guys. It's a good thing if they're on the phone, because that means they're like trying. So, it's tough. Everything's tough that you do, especially with kids. Kids are tough. But I'm just thankful that it's me dealing with I get to deal with the kids and not somebody else.
Okay, and now, no, don't even do the drum roll because he doesn't deserve it. Daniel G was at Monations. He was one of the speakers. Daniel G, if you remember, was the guy in one of my other Monations videos where his thing is yelling at these women to motivate them to sell shampoo and shaking, like a lot of shaking and yelling, popping the vein in his neck, which I think is the wrong way to yell. I used to be a cheerleader in high school and I learned very quickly. They taught us like not to yell from your neck. And I think Daniel G does a lot of yelling from his neck. But let's see what he had to say this year, right? You prepared for some really insightful and valuable yelling. Oh, you're not? Let's listen to it anyway. Like, look at him when he's talking. He's so intense. And the veins are popping out already. Like, what time of day even is this?
He said, I wish I was just like that again, like, 30 something and just, I had the ability to build a business. I said, wow, the pain of living with I wish is so much harder than just doing the freaking work. Think of that for a second. Like, imagine how much, like, you don't talk to old people, they will always talk to, I wish.
Oh, right. So the takeaway is that at the end of your life, you're going to be sitting there on your deathbed. I wish I would have put more into Monat. Okay. I don't think anyone's going to get there and be like, I really wish I would have sold more shampoo. I really wish I would have spent more time on my phone. Who's thinking that? Not I. Oh, look, and he's promoting his book, it looks like, on the screen. Gross. Gross, Daniel. These women already spend enough money at this MLM. They don't need to buy your book either.
I'm gonna do a video. When I turn this, we're gonna go wild. Turn up the music. DJ, Rankin, you know what to do, brother. Go crazy. Go nuts with the beat. Hit that beat. When I turn this, go crazy.
Oh my God. Like, bring back a crumb of shame for the fakery of content creation. Please. just a crumb of humility. Because what is this? Do you see what I mean when I say manufactured emotion and manufactured shit for people's content they're creating on social media? This is probably one of the best examples. Everybody go crazy, go nuts. Oh, it's fake. You had to tell people to do that. It doesn't hit the same.
Y'all ready, fam? Drop it like it's hot when I turn this thing.
Drop it like it's hot.
Team, I'm here in Las Vegas, and I'm with thousands of sales ladies that didn't make a couple thousand selling online and shampoo. I'm with a couple thousand, a few thousand of ladies that done over 70 million. Am I right? 70 million in the last 12.
It's funny because the back of three of these people's heads is men. It's like, with all these ladies, and there's three men right here.
Many of you guys don't know, my name is Daniel G. And I've had the honor to speak on over 700 plus stages from all around the world. I've been labeled the world's #1 sales trainer, trained well over 2 million plus salespeople.
Is it all by screaming and yelling and shaking? I can't see how that's very valuable unless you're selling people fear and other emotions. On the screen it says, this company gives us the best training. They're, good grief, they're giving you hype. Nothing that I heard from these clips or any of the ones from my other videos really gave me any insights on how to sell stuff better. Like, it really just didn't hit for me. It just seemed like blowing smoke up my ass to motivate me, but there was really no training involved. Okay, let's wrap this up as fast as we can. Hopefully those looks okay. I'm recording this on my phone because I'm irresponsible and I did not charge either of my batteries before trying to make these videos. So let's take a look at what I had up next.
I'm the author of my new book called The Sales Game. And just 2 years ago, I spoke at Monations 2023 down in Los Angeles. And until today, it was the most impactful and powerful event that I've ever spoken at, with the most energy.
The energy that it's giving is, do you say that to all the girls? That's the energy it's giving. Because I can't really make myself believe that this is the only people he's presented to that he said that to.
Monations, and the company that you're sitting down in right now has the ability to do one thing: create unity. And unity is most powerful.
The way he said, create unity. Insert the sound effect that's like, wah, 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 wah. Just hyping him up.
Full word in the dictionary. You want to know why? Because regardless of where you come from, I don't care where you're from, today if you're sitting down in this theater, regardless of your past screw-ups, regardless of your...
You know, I have to wonder, like, is he like this in real life, or is this just like the persona when he's making this content? Like, it's just the way he acts when he's doing this? Because being intense like this all the time seems very exhausting.
Background, regardless if you didn't do well in the past or you struggled last week, today is unity. Today is...
Oh, what does that say? Just saying, if I wasn't married, this would be a thing. OMG, can you imagine that energy? Kidding, love you, blank. That's her husband, I'm assuming. But also, he's the most incredible speaker and one of the smartest men in the world. Fabulous. Call me. Kidding, but yeah, call me. That's so sad and offensive. When you come back from a pee break and your social selling crush is right at your seat. Why do you have a social selling crush? That's honestly so sad to me. Please, please have some self-respect. Self-respect for women, I don't think has to relate to how you dress, how you present yourself, what you do in the boom boom room. None of that means anything to me. This means something. Please have some self-respect and respect your spouse or whatever your relationship looks like. Maybe he doesn't care, you know, but please have some self-respect. Why do you have a social selling crush? Please get a grip. A little teaspoon, a quarter teaspoon of reality. And it's blurred out, but she turns around and she's like, oh my God, it's Daniel G.
Sitting down here in this theater, we're sitting down this weekend because we're ready for one thing. We're ready to change, and not just change our business for a lifetime, but change our families' lives and the thousands of others individuals' lives.
I just imagine, like, if I was in any sort of setting and I heard him speaking like this to anyone, I would interfere and ask if the other person is okay. Like, is he bothering you? kind of, not because he's like a creep or whatever. That's what I'm trying to say. But like, it's too much. It's too intense. And it is, I don't think it's like appropriate for the audience or for the company. Like this kind of thing he has going on. It just doesn't make sense for me. Oh, the caption here says, don't let the devil block your blessings. More religious stuff, shoving it down your throat. Because nobody's talking about other religions. So when you're constantly bringing up the Jeebus fan club, yes, you are shoving it down their throats. I understand that most people are religious. And a lot of people, especially in the US, they are Christian or some sort of something in that vicinity. So they are going to accept some shit like this. But not everybody is.
This person indecisive, I can get this person to think. If I can get them to think, eventually I can get this person to quit. The devil just wants you to be indecisive. The devil does not want you to make a decision, by the way.
What makes you think you speak for the devil? I'd like to hear from him instead of Daniel G screaming.
The devil says if I can keep this person from making a decision, as long as possible, I can get this person to quit.
Oh, yes, because we need to make the decision to stay. We need to make the decision to join. Don't think, just do. I'm a numbers guy, but don't pay attention. Don't get lost in the numbers. You guys remember that from my other video, the Amare conference? It's the same kind of thinking. They don't want you to think because you might talk yourself out of it with common sense and, dare I say, CT, critical thinking.
You know what I tell people? I said, it doesn't come close to me, the devil. It eats me. Why? Because I am, okay, we're going to go for a run. Boom, I go for a run. Okay, I'm in it, I'm in this business, I'm not in this business. I'm not.
So you don't think? Like, you don't think for yourself? How is that a quality people should have? Oh my God, and where I'm paused, he's literally like, his shirt's coming undone. He's got a lot going on. He's like, why? Why? It's too much. Please. Do you know anything about motivating women who aren't like male-centered?
The devil loves people that are playing inside of the middle. It says if I can get this person indecisive in just one
fuck everybody with ADHD.
area of their life, I can block all their blessings around every other area of their life.
Oh my God, because the takeaway is that Monet is the blessing. Please calm down. Drink some water. The caption on this one says, barbers listen. Yeah, because the barbers are purchasing Monet. Right.
That's it. I said, but do you know the guy that just left your chair? The guy that just left your chair, and I put this inside my book. I said, the guy that just left your chair.
Well, fucking come out with it already. Why did I have to hear you say that, 3 freaking times? Let's go, Daniel. Oh my God. And you're still screaming. All of it, all the stuff I hear from him is just shaking and screaming and neck popping and this like look like he's like hunting the audience. I can't. Time and place, Daniel. And I don't think this is where that's needed.
You're stuck at $5,000 a month because you sold him a haircut. I said, that guy that just left the chair.
My face the entire time, like during the men's panel, like when I'm not showing you, because it's, I don't know, you don't need to look at me the entire video, right? But like, it's just like.
Who knows what goes to happen the way he feels when he leaves the chair. This guy's a whole.
But that's like the 4th time.
Man. He goes maybe to pick up the lady of his dreams, starts a new family, has confidence inside a business, now can present a little bit better, maybe makes double inside of his business because of confidence. I say,
yeah, and so now you're selling emotions to like some men in the audience who may aspire or may not aspire to be barbers. Like, really, what are you talking about? Barbers. Do you think all these women are barbers? Hello? And they are the women who are already in like that line of work. They already know about like the emotions that goes into like women feeling beautiful when they leave and what they're going to do after that. Like, who is this speech for? Like the couple men in the audience? Take them aside. The women don't need to get screamed at by Daniel G.
Do you sell haircuts or do you sell confidence to men? I said, which one is it? Because if you
please. Yeah, I sell emotions to men.
sell confidence to men, all your strategies change after. The way you position your business, everything changes. So I said, the way you look at your business, because the first one is the perception of your business. You have to own the perception of your business. It creates your identity, number one. By the way, let me tell you all something, hard truth here. Nobody here, smack in the face for all of us.
Now, the perception from the public, I don't think is generally good. And it really doesn't have a lot to do with the individual distributor, at least from my perspective. It kind of just, it's MLM as a whole. And specifically for this video and my other ones regarding Monat, it's about Monat. It's not really distributor specific, which is one of the reasons I blur them, because it doesn't matter who's talking. Nothing they're saying a lot of time, a lot of what they're saying a lot of times has really nothing to do with them, and it has nothing to do with really who they are. It's the same things being instilled in them regardless of the company. Oh, this last one here, rule number 1, owe your profession. You will never outperform the way you perceive your business. You sell confidence, not just beauty products. You change lives by signing up people. Like, what? All right, so that is it for the men's panel and Daniel G coverage, and that really just wraps up Monations 2025. This is all the stuff that I found interesting. So if you like this video, give a little likesy poo. If you have commentary for the class, leave that down below, and make sure you are subscribed so you get to see all of my videos. Thank you guys again, and I will see you in the next one.